The pursuit of truth was central to Rudolf Steiner, so it is not surprising that the philosophy of freedom is a description of his path to truth. This book does not claim to offer the only possible way to truth, but is meant to describe the path taken by one for whom truth is central. What is truth? We have the lofty truths of the spiritualists that have been expressed since ancient times, and we have the more real truths, the actual facts or information about something, rather than what people think, expect, or make up. A value can also be placed on truths. One side will value their truths over the truths of another side. Political leaders are collaborating with the tech giants to ensure we are presented with their set of truths and use censorship to deny the opposition's set of truths. In this video, we'll be examining the value of truth. Does one kind of truth hold more value for us than another kind of truth? It is based on the original preface to Rudolf Steiner's Philosophy of Freedom, The Goal of Knowledge. The preface begins with the cultivation of individual life, and then transitions to the pursuit of individual truth. Truth, too, will be sought in our age only in the depths of human nature. It begins with two paths to truth, the pursuit of truth in outer life and the pursuit of truth within. It then states that the pursuit of inner truth has more value for us because it is more useful. I find truth in outer life, says one person. I am uncertain about truth that comes from the outside, says another. I am only convinced by what appears to me inwardly as truth. Let's compare our experience of outer truth with inner truth. In this information age, we are inundated with outer truths from every billboard, sign, or computer screen. I'm sure everyone has developed a skeptical attitude toward all the media truths given to us from the outside. This is very different than the conviction we experience when we know something to be true within our heart. Inner truth appears within each of us. The next view in the preface was said by Rudolf Steiner to be the motto of the philosophy of freedom. Only truth gives you certainty in developing your individual powers. Whoever is tormented by doubts finds his powers weakened. If baffled by a world full of riddles, you can't find a goal for your creative activity. Key words are empowered, goals, and creative activity. These are characteristics of an ethical individualist. Inner truth has more value for the ethical individualist. It provides the certainty that empowers creative action. Pure thinking is used to find the appropriate moral principle to apply in each situation. Creative thinking is used to form a goal, and scientific thinking is used to transform the world without causing harm. Each form of thinking employed by the ethical individualist provides inner truth. We no longer want to believe, we want to know. Belief demands the acceptance of truths you don't fully understand. The only knowing that satisfies springs from the inner life of the personality. Collectivist societies are held together by all the members holding on to the outer truths of group beliefs. An ethical individualist experiences an inner truth that springs from the thinking, feeling, and willing life of the personality. Inner truth has more value because it is not cold intellectual knowledge, it is filled with life. You don't want academic knowledge encased in academic rules and stored away as valid for all time. Start from the facts you know, your own direct experience, and advance to knowledge of the whole universe. The truths of academic knowledge is outer truth that has less value. I hate to say this, but whenever someone tells me they have a doctorate degree, my expectations quickly drop. I find more wisdom from those who have acquired life experience and are self-directed life learners. Agreement should not be expected from anyone unless they are urged to a certain view by their own individual need. Facts of knowledge should not be crammed into a student. A child's capacity should be developed so he has the will to understand. As we build up a world of thought, we separate ourselves from the world as individuals. This sets us on a quest for knowledge to regain our unity with the world. Answering our own questions has more value to our well-being than answering the questions posed by a teacher. A stereotypical attitude lacking all individuality is prevalent everywhere. Many flaunt a way of life that follows only the current cultural trends, but I also know that many strive to conduct their lives in the direction of the principles in the philosophy of freedom. Today, virtue signaling is used to flaunt your support for whatever the current trending thing is. Learning the principles of individualism has more value than learning how to conform. But it's not enough to merely learn truths. Steiner dedicates the philosophy of freedom to those who apply the book's principles to life. The science path of the West no longer demands the pious exercises and ascetic practices of the Eastern path. It does require withdrawing oneself a while and entering the realm of pure thought. You still see people today practicing ancient paths. The Oriental sage demands a life of resignation and asceticism before he shares his knowledge. Today, every science program demands the disciplined thinking of pure thinking. There is more value in entering the conceptual realm of pure thought to lift our minds above the lower emotions and common biases. Abstract thinking takes on an individual life of its own. Ideas become powerful forces in life. We no longer merely know about things, but knowing is made into a real self-governing organism, ruled by its own laws. The intuitive ideas experienced in pure thinking become powerful forces in life. The whole of our knowledge takes on an intelligence of its own. These truths have more value than normal abstract thought. The theme of the book is how philosophy as an art relates to freedom, what freedom is, and whether we do or can participate in it. Scientific explanations provide clarification for these questions. The ethical individualist becomes an artist in the conceptual world to create new impulses of freedom. The descriptions in the philosophy of freedom of the processes of cognition is a science of freedom, which has more value than mere philosophical truths. All science is nothing but idle curiosity if it didn't raise the value of existence for the human personality. Knowledge has value only by contributing to the all-around development of the whole of human nature. We have all found ourselves taking the clickbait of science videos that capture our idle curiosity. Knowledge has more value if it contributes to our all-around development. The philosophy of freedom doesn't just develop thinking, it develops our thinking, feeling, and willing so we can reach our full potential. Do not bow down before the world of ideas and devote your powers to its service. Take possession of the world of ideas to use them for your goals. We experience powerful ideas on the path of inner truth. They'll appear to us as if from the voice of God. But we're not here to serve voices in our head or be wowed by lofty thoughts. As ethical individualists, we are creating ideas to empower our individual goals. The preface concludes with, confront an idea as master or else become its slave. This is a nice transition to the next chapter, conscious human action. Here we learn that unless we confront our motives of action by bringing them into consciousness and gaining full knowledge of them, these ideas will rule over us.